well as a physical sort of examination to see how I'm doing with everything. But it's, it's hard. And it took me a long time to recover. They say it takes a year, I think. And I thought, just take me a few weeks. But there's a lot of after stuff, and you've got to sort of ease yourself back. It's not easy. And I went back into the boxing world, and I thought, do I do that? But I sort of got almost like invited back in, come to that press conference, whatever, and I did. And I went to a MISFITS fight, as I said to you, with my daughter. I went to the Katie Taylor fight with Chantel Cameron, and I was really probably 60-70% healthy. And but that was a big move for me to be back around ringside. And I guess probably the beginning of 2024 was when I started to feel myself again. I'll never be 100%, but and I get aches and pains, and it's tough in the morning. Those first couple of minutes of getting up, I feel it in my legs. But Jamie Moore and I talk about it. Jamie was shot. He comes back. He trains fighters, but every morning his legs are not great. So I think when people have been through some sort of adversity, they really connect, and you really understand. Spencer Oliver, what he went through, and also like Darren Barker losing his brother. I think people have dealt with sort of either grief or like you have with your mom. It's you understand, and people that haven't maybe don't as much. Barry McGuigan, going through what he had with his daughter and everything. He's constantly on the phone with me. How are you doing? How's the health? And you get that sort of connection and the understanding. And it's horrible, but oh my God, I'm so happy to be alive. And I'm so grateful to the doctors and to the nurses and to everyone in the hospitals and that have helped me since in my recovery, mentally and physically, psychologists, therapists and doctors, everyone, they're all a doctor. And I just think I've got a very different perspective on life now. I'm healthy, and I have my checkups. And as you say, if you get the news, unfortunately, like your mum has, you've sort of got to accept. You've got to sort of say, okay, you can fight, and you'll always fight. A human being fights. I didn't think I'd make it. I feel in many ways I've had 9 lives, right? And there was times where I didn't think I'd make it. There's times where I thought I shouldn't be here, and I got through. I got another opportunity. And if that opportunity lasts today, or if it lasts another 30, 40 years, great. You've got to make every day count. I really think that. I used to say carpe diem, which is seize the day. And I think maybe I seized it too much. So maybe it's un tempum dies, which I have on my WhatsApp. You've probably seen it on my phone. And it's one day at a time. It's just for today. Enjoy every day. Take every day. Get something out of every day. Today we're doing this. Tomorrow will come, and then we'll deal with tomorrow. And I think whatever happens to me now going forward, however long I live, I'm glad I'm still here for my kids right now. And they've got an extra couple of years with their dad, which is the most important thing. But they've also learned a lot from me in those 2 years about how to deal with adversity, how to change, how to adapt. When shit happens, and it does, it happens to all of us at some stage. You can be riding high, the ego could be up there and all of that, and suddenly bang, something happens. And it makes you recalibrate, makes you rethink. I like giving back now. And that might sound cliche, but if I see someone struggling, if I can, I want to help them. I don't mean handing money to people or whatever, but I want to talk to people. I want to help them. I want to do something, not for me to feel good. I want to do something to make them feel better. So I work at the food bank in Acton, not as much as I'd like because of the boxing world now. I'm back working and I have to earn money still, but I do like helping out or going to do talks in prisons or things like that. I like doing things that give back. And I've got a story, and I want that story to be told, because if it can help save people out there who are suffering from any sort of cancer, mine was bladder, but I had symptoms, and I know people who don't have symptoms who have struggled, but it is, and I'm a prime example of someone who say, no, I'm not going to a doctor, I don't want to go in. Just check yourself up. It can't do what it's better knowing than not knowing, because we've got responsibilities as dads or as brothers, as sisters, as we've got family people around us. And as much as you want to run and hide and whatever, it's better to know. Now I want to know everything. If my heart's not in God, I found out my heart goes the wrong way around, by the way, as well during all of this, but it still works. Okay. So I'm going to get that checked out from time to time. And I'm not going to be, oh my God, I feel ill, I'm going to rush to a doctor. You can't live like that. You've got to, I don't, you asked me about a diet earlier. Yeah, I don't, some people say to me, never have sugar again, never have this. So I talked to the dietitians and they said, look, Adam, live your life, but just be sensible, right? You don't drink anyway, you don't smoke. Maybe just watch the processed food, but just be, so I try and eat a bit healthier, but hey, if I have a Mackie D's late at night once in a while, have a kebab, I'm not going to stop living life because otherwise what's the point? You've got to have fun, you've got to have adventures too. Yeah, but you've got to be sensible as well. And I've got to be more balanced. And I guess I'm all in. So I guess that's the thing I have to be careful about, is just sort of making sure that I don't overdo it, because I'm prone to doing that. I work hard, and with boxing and the sports world that we're in, I like to mentor young fighters. I like to help out, and you can do that 24/7. So you've got to have a break. And I said to you, we've booked in, I'll do it. It's great. It's a pleasure to chat to you, but I've worked days and days and days in a row, and I've got to just be careful of that. I've got to say to myself, okay, next couple of days, just take your foot off it a little bit, Ad, because I know what I'm like. If someone's on the phone to me and say, oh, Ad, can you just help me with that? I'm more than likely to say yes. And I've learned a little bit to say no, which is a harder word, but it's a word you need to, I think. But yeah, look, it's something I've been through, and something that is part of my story now. And do I look at myself as a cancer survivor? No. I look at myself as someone that has dealt with something, and because of the support and love I had of doctors and friends and family, I've made it through. I couldn't have done it on my own. I remember being on my own sometimes late at night in the hospital thinking, I'm going to die here. I can't do this. So thank you to everyone out there who helped, whether you're my best friends or my groups that just came in and helped me, or the nurses that just came in overnight and just kept me going, or the just the little messages and the people that came to around me. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that, and I'm grateful to every single one of those people. I can't say thank you enough. But yeah, I just made it through, and on to the next. And hey, if I get someone tells me something's wrong with me again, we'll deal with it. We'll look at it. We'll deal with it, and we'll work at it. And they tell me I've got this or that, we'll deal with it. I think the key is with all of this is acceptance, and that's hard, because it's hard to accept that you've got cancer. It's hard to accept that look, if something happens to my child, oh my God, that puts everything into perspective, right? I want my children healthy. You want your children healthy and happy. And to hear somebody's child is in trouble is far worse than any adult, any 50-year-old man. My word, we've already lived a huge life. Children you want healthy. Children are our future. And as long as my kids are healthy and happy and have their dad as present as he can be, that's what I want to be. And it's gratitude. It's some humility that you're taught as well, I think. You think, oh, I'm flying here, there, and everywhere. I'm in Vegas. And I don't like to ever say that I'm a good commentator, or I like to be a nice person, but you do. I think you do have a bit of an ego then. You do think, oh, okay, hey, look at me. I'm doing this and that. And I never wanted to be like that at Sky. I had a great team. I had an amazing team who were better than me at stuff. I didn't ever want to be seen as that person. But I guess in a way, if you haven't gone through adversity or pain, you probably do get carried away with things. So I think it is a lesson. I've learned a lot. I feel like I'm a changed version of myself, if that makes sense. I'm still me, but I'm a very much calmer me. I don't tend to get angry or stressed like I used to. I mean, there are times, obviously, when we're all under pressure, but yeah, I tend to enjoy life more and tend to be calm. And I tend just to be very, very grateful for being back in the sport I love, but most importantly, being here and enjoying the sunshine of today.
I love that journey, that story that you've sort of shared with us, in terms of there's so much to learn from it. Adam, if there's one sort of piece of advice that someone's going through something, and this thing called anxiety comes over, it's that thing where you're not present right now, you're just thinking of all of the things that could be happening and going wrong. Is there one bit of practice that you do to just come back and go, like you say, we'll deal with it?
It's a great question. And it's a question I think I know I know my answer to, and I'm teaching mainly my eldest daughter at the moment, who can get a bit sort of, she's learning to drive at the minute, and she's great, but she gets, that parallel parking, and she gets into a sort of spot, and my son can get a bit angry at times, and my little girl she's the vibrant nutcase, and she's always keeping us on our toes. But yeah, I think it's a difficult one. I think what I've learned is to just stay still and breathe. And it's hard in life. Life is so fast. Life is, you've got to rush here. You're going to be late for this. You're going to be allowed that.